Stop talking. Your biggest mistake is announcing your plans. You are seeking a cheap hit of validation that drains your motivation and invites silent sabotage. This book is your vow of silence. It is a ruthless system for operating in stealth mode, building your empire in the shadows, and letting your success make all the noise for you. Get ready to disappear into the work and emerge victorious.
Your dreams are not a democracy. You have a choice: to rule your vision with absolute authority, or to turn it into a committee project destined for mediocrity. The moment you share your dream, you invite opinions. And most opinions are projections of other people's fears, limitations, and insecurities. Your vision is a kingdom. You are the sole ruler. This is not about arrogance. This is about protection. Your unborn dream is fragile, easily diluted by the good advice of people who have never built what you're building. They will analyze it through the lens of their own failures, not your potential. You must guard it with your life. Look at a passionate entrepreneur. They have a revolutionary idea. They share it with friends over coffee. "Are you sure there's a market?" one asks. "That sounds risky," says another. "Why not do this instead?" suggests a third. Each comment, though well-intentioned, is a small compromise. The entrepreneur, eager to please and avoid criticism, starts tweaking the idea. They dilute the original bold vision into something palatable, something safe, something average. The revolutionary idea becomes just another business plan. Your vision is a kingdom. You are the sole ruler. The entrepreneur who succeeds is the one who builds in silence, who trusts their own research and instinct, and who presents the world with a finished product, not a proposal for debate. Stop seeking consensus for your creation. You do not need a vote of confidence from people who are not on the front lines with you. This is the key. The need for external validation is a weakness that will compromise your mission. You are the architect, the strategist, and the executor. The opinions of the crowd are the death of originality. You do not need their permission to build your empire. You need the conviction to build it alone if necessary. Your dream is a sovereign nation, and you must defend its borders against all invaders, even those who come bearing friendly advice. You have just secured the borders of your kingdom. You have declared yourself its sole ruler. But a ruler must beware of a more subtle threat, an internal trick that the mind plays, a chemical deception that makes you feel like you've already won.
To seek the cheap high of social validation, or to bank the immense power that comes from silent, uncelebrated work. This is neuroscience, not opinion. When you announce a goal and receive praise, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical of accomplishment. But you haven't accomplished anything. You've only spoken. You have stolen the reward meant for the finish line and spent it at the starting block. Applause is a debt. When you receive it early, you owe the work. This biochemical trick creates a false sense of completion, directly undermining the motivational tension needed to grind through the difficult middle stages. Consider the writer who announces their book deal on social media. The congratulations pour in. "So proud of you. Can't wait to read it." Their brain lights up with dopamine. It feels real. It feels achieved. The next day, facing the blank page and the grueling discipline of writing 2,000 words feels anticlimactic. The excitement has been spent. The chemical reward for the idea has been cashed, leaving none for the execution. Applause is a debt. When you receive it early, you owe the work. And that debt is paid in the currency of discipline, a currency that feels worthless when the emotional reward is already gone. The celebrated writer often struggles, while the unknown writer, fueled by the tension of an unrealized vision, writes their masterpiece in obscurity. Stop spending your dopamine before you earn it. You must preserve the creative discomfort. This is the key. The gap between your vision and your current reality is the engine of progress. When you announce your plans, you release that tension. You let the steam out of the engine before the journey has begun. You do not need their congratulations. You need your own quiet, burning resolve. Protect the sanctity of your unfinished work. Let the silence fuel your focus, not a social media post that drains it with empty praise. You have just exposed the brain's chemical trick. You now understand why talking feels like progress when it's actually regression. But the external world doesn't just applaud, it also resists. Now, we must examine the silent forces that work against you the moment you speak your dreams. To believe everyone has your best interest at heart, or to understand the brutal truth, even good opinions are the enemy of greatness. When you share your ambitions, you trigger a universal law of mediocrity. People will analyze your vision through the lens of their own limitations. Their good advice is often a subconscious attempt to pull you back to their level of comfort and familiarity. Greatness is never created by committee. A committee designs a horse. A lone genius designs a unicorn. The most original, world-changing ideas are often ridiculed at first because they don't fit the established mold. Look at the visionary artist with a unique style. They show their work to family. It's interesting, but will it sell? Maybe you should paint something more like what people know. This good opinion is a cage. It forces the artist to justify their creativity, to constantly look over their shoulder at an imaginary audience. The pressure to conform dilutes their unique voice until it becomes a faint echo of what it could have been. Greatness is never created by committee. The artist who changes the world is the one who works in isolation, trusting their inner compass despite the chorus of well-meaning doubters. They build their audience. They don't cater to one. Stop inviting opinions from people who are not qualified to give them. You must become a fortress. Your dreams are the most valuable asset you possess, and you would not leave a bag of gold on a public bench. Do not leave your vision in the hands of those who cannot understand its value. You do not need their approval to outgrow them. You need the wisdom to protect your mission from their well-meaning interference. Your circle is either a greenhouse for your growth or a freezer. Choose wisely, and when in doubt, build alone. You now understand the external threats, the opinions, the good advice, the pressure to conform. To navigate this, you need a new way of operating, a system of stealth. To operate in the open, exposed to every opinion and distraction, or to activate your stealth mode protocol. This is a concrete, actionable framework for becoming a ghost of productivity. Move in silence. The first rule, create a code name for your project. This isn't childish, it's psychological. It creates a separation between your public persona and your private mission. The second rule, implement a strict need-to-know protocol. No one needs to know what you're doing unless they are an essential part of making it happen. The third rule, use anonymous tools. Create separate accounts for research, use private documents, and build in the shadows. Your progress is classified. Look at the most impactful innovations. They often emerge fully formed, as if from nowhere. The developer who coded an app for 18 months under a code name, telling no one but their essential co-founder. When they launched, the market was stunned. There was no pre-launch hype to manage, no premature opinions to incorporate, no pressure to deliver on a publicly stated timeline. There was only the finished product, speaking for itself. Move in silence. This is not just for tech founders. This is for the writer, the artist, the fitness enthusiast, the aspiring entrepreneur. Operate like a secret agent on a mission. Your progress is classified. The less people know, the more power you retain. Stop believing you need an audience for your process. You need a laboratory. Your workspace should be a private lab where you can experiment, fail, iterate, and build without the pressure of public scrutiny. You do not need to document your journey. You need to live it. From this day forward, your work becomes classified information. Your mission is on a need-to-know basis, and frankly, most people don't need to know. Operating in stealth requires immense energy, but most people leak this energy constantly. It's time to plug the leak. To be a reservoir of focused energy or a leaky pipe, spraying your vital resources on anyone who will listen. This is a physical law. Your creative and motivational energy is a finite resource. Every time you explain your vision, defend your plan, or entertain skeptical questions, you are not just talking. You are leaking energy. You are taking the pure, potent fuel meant for building and setting it on fire in a social bonfire. Your energy follows your attention. Stop talking, start building. Imagine an inventor. They have a vision for a revolutionary device, burning bright in their mind. It's a perfect, complete idea. Then they explain it to a colleague. The colleague asks practical questions, raises logical doubts. The inventor spends the next hour defending, explaining, and adjusting the idea in conversation. They go home feeling drained. The idea that once felt electric now feels confusing, diluted, and heavy. They have literally talked their invention out of existence. Your energy follows your attention. By giving their attention to talking, they rob the idea of the energy it needed to be built. Stop talking, start building. The energy you use to explain yourself is energy you are not using to build yourself. Stop explaining, start building. Every time you feel the urge to talk about your work, recognize it for what it is: a leak, a drain, a diversion of precious resources. Convert that urge into action. The moment you want to tell someone about the business, open the business plan and write one sentence. The moment you want to post about your fitness goals, do 5 push-ups. You do not need to verbalize your process. You need to energize it. Your focus is your capital. Guard it with your life. You've plugged the energy leaks. You are operating in stealth. Now we must find the deep, personal reward in the work itself. The reward that makes silence not a burden, but a power.
To be constantly available and visible, or to disappear completely to create your masterpiece. The world will try to find you. Don't be found. This means creating literal and digital blackout periods. It means turning off notifications, disappearing from social media, and becoming unreachable during your deep work blocks. It's not about being rude, it's about being ruthless with your priorities. You are not ignoring people, you are honoring your mission. The world will try to find you, your phone will buzz, emails will pile up, invitations will arrive. Your discipline is to remain a ghost, fully present in your work and absent from the noise. Consider the author on a deadline who rents a cabin for 2 months. They tell their publisher how to reach them in an emergency, but are otherwise offline. Their friends wonder where they are. Their social media goes dark. In that silence, they produce their best work, undistracted and fully immersed. The world will try to find you. Don't be found. Contrast this with the productive person who works in an open office, responding to every message instantly, always available for a quick chat. They are seen as busy, but they are not building anything of substance. They are managing reactions, not creating actions. Stop being available. Start becoming invisible. Schedule your disappearances. Protect your focus time as if it were a meeting with the most important person in the world. Because it is. You are meeting with your future self. You do not need to justify your unavailability. You need to execute on your vision. Let people wonder what you're working on. The mystery is part of your power. Your silence is not emptiness. It is concentration. You have learned to disappear. You are a ghost of productivity. But a ghost must have a purpose. That purpose is found in the sacred, uncelebrated work, the secret grind. To rely on external motivation and applause, or to find a deep, intrinsic satisfaction in the secret grind itself. This is the mindset of the master. The magic happens when nobody's watching. The 4 a.m. workout that no one sees. The hour of study after a long day. The code written in the quiet of the night. This is not suffering. This is sacred. This is where you build a relationship with yourself based on respect, not on the approval of an audience.
This is where you discover who you are when no one is watching. Look at every legendary athlete, artist, or entrepreneur. Before the world knew their name, they were married to the secret grind. They didn't post about their training. They endured it. They didn't talk about their craft. They honed it in private. Their power came from the knowledge that their foundation was laid in secret, in solitude, in utter anonymity. The magic happens when nobody's watching. There is a unique, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you have put in work that no one has seen, that no one will ever applaud. That work was for you and you alone. It is the purest form of self-respect. Stop seeking witnesses to your struggle. The struggle itself is the reward. The difficulty is the point. It is the fire that forges your character. You must love the feeling of the secret grind. Love the sweat, the frustration, the quiet breakthroughs. This is your sanctuary. This is where you become powerful. You do not need a cheering squad. You need a relentless commitment to the daily, invisible reps. This is the core of true discipline. You have learned to love the secret grind. You are building a fortress in silence. But a fortress is meant to be occupied. A masterpiece is meant to be seen. The final step is the unveiling.
To make a loud entrance with promises, or a quiet arrival with a finished product. A finished product is the only argument that matters. When you emerge from your period of stealth, you do not emerge with a plan. You emerge with a result. You do not ask for feedback on a prototype, you launch a polished product. You do not announce a weight loss goal, you reveal a transformed physique. At this point, there is no discussion. There is no criticism of the idea, only assessment of the achievement. Your work speaks with a voice that silences all opinion. Think of the tech company that announces a new product with a full-scale launch event. The product is already on shelves, the website is live, the reviews are in. There is no what if, there is only what is. Contrast this with the company that announces an idea 2 years in advance, getting feedback, facing skepticism, and dealing with leaks. By the time they launch, the market is bored or critical. A finished product is the only argument that matters. Your results, your finished work, your tangible success, this is your voice. It is the most powerful communication in the world. It requires no explanation. It demands respect. Stop presenting ideas, start delivering finished products. Your goal is to make your unveiling an event of pure, undeniable fact. Let the quality of your work be so high, the execution so flawless, that it leaves people breathless. They will not ask how you did it, they will simply see that you did it. This is the power move. This is how you win in public, after focusing in silence. The cycle is now complete. But to make it permanent, you must build a core that is immune to the need for any external validation, even after you succeed. To be a puppet whose strings are pulled by public opinion, or to become the master of your own worth, deriving 100% of your validation from a private scoreboard. When you are your own judge, you hold the final gavel. This is the culmination of the silent path. It is the realization that the only applause that matters is the quiet respect you feel for yourself when you know you have met your own standards. External praise becomes irrelevant. External criticism becomes data, not a verdict. You are no longer seeking, you are being. Consider the master craftsman who creates a piece of furniture. They do not create for a client's approval. They create to meet their own invisible, impeccable standard. The client's happiness is a byproduct, not the goal. The goal was the silent conversation between the craftsman and their craft. When you are your own judge, you hold the final gavel. This is the ultimate freedom. You are liberated from the roller coaster of public opinion. A failed launch is a lesson. A successful launch is a milestone. Neither defines you. Your definition comes from your commitment to your own code, your own standards, your own silent grind. Stop looking for your reflection in the eyes of others. You will only ever see a distortion. Look inward. Build your own criteria for success.
Judge yourself against your previous self, not against the achievements of others. This is how you build a legacy that is truly your own, not a performance for a crowd that will eventually disperse. Your inner scoreboard is the only one that counts. You have built an unshakable core. You validate yourself. Now we arrive at the ultimate destination, the point where your work becomes so powerful that it speaks for you louder than any words ever could.
This is the final stage of power. A state of being where you are so secure in your own value that you no longer need to assert it verbally. Build it so well that it speaks for itself. Your focused work, your calm demeanor, and your tangible results create a reputation that precedes you. Opportunities, clients, and respect are attracted to you magnetically, not because you asked for them, but because your results are an undeniable gravitational force. You have transcended the need for self-promotion. Your success is your marketing. Look at the world-renowned expert in any field. They don't submit resumes, they don't beg for meetings, they are sought out. Their body of work is so profound that it does all the talking. A single recommendation from them can make a career because their name is synonymous with excellence. Build it so well that it speaks for itself. This is not fame. This is authority. It is earned in the silent, focused building phase and compounded over time. Your silent work has built a monument so large that it can be seen from everywhere. You don't need to point at it. Everyone can already see it. Stop promoting. Start producing at such an elite level that promotion becomes irrelevant. Let your work be so good that it becomes a reference point for others. Let your success be so undeniable that it becomes a story others tell on your behalf. You have graduated from the noisy marketplace of ideas to the quiet halls of mastery. Your voice is no longer in your throat, it is in your work, and that voice echoes for eternity. This is your final command. Your transformation is complete. You now understand your words have been costing you your dreams. Every explanation was an energy leak. Every announcement was a premature celebration. Every shared plan was an invitation for sabotage. That ends now. From this moment forward, you are a ghost of ambition. You move in silence. You build in the shadows. You derive power from the secret grind. When people ask what you're working on, you smile and change the subject. When they pry for details, you give nothing. Your energy is sealed. Your focus is razor sharp. Your determination is quiet and absolute. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. Let them underestimate you. Your only response will be the finished product. Your only announcement will be your undeniable success. Your only victory will be the one they never saw coming. So, here is your final mission, your non-negotiable call to action. Choose one project right now, the most important one, and put it under complete radio silence. Tell no one. Document nothing publicly. Channel every ounce of your energy into building it. Let the world discover your success only when it's too magnificent to ignore. The era of talking is over. The era of silent building begins now. Go. And if you're ready to master more of these life-changing protocols, subscribe to the channel. We are a community of builders, not talkers. Join us.